Seaburn is a small town by the sea on the east coast of England. This part of England is called East Anglia. I went to Seaburn for a holiday in 1919 with my friend Harry Long. There were few visitors in Seaburn that year. There was only one other visitor in our hotel. His name was Parston. Parston was a tall, thin young man. He looked worried and unhappy. One evening, when Heaven and I were sitting in the hotel lounge, Parston came up to us. "Excuse me," says Parston. "I must speak to somebody. Something strange was happened to me. I'd like to talk to someone about it. May I talk to you?" "Of course," I said. "Please sit down and tell us about it." "A few days ago," Parston said, "I went for a walk to Preston. Preston is a village about 5 miles from here. I took my camera with me. The church in Preston was unusual dull. I wanted to photograph it. There were 3 wooden crowds on the door. The village priest came out of the church. I asked him about the 3 crowds on the door. The priest told me a strange story. Many years ago," says Parston, Anglia was a kingdom. The last kingdom of England died over 1,000 years ago. When he died, his 3 crowds disappeared. The people believe that crowd was magic. They believe that crowd was buried in different places. The crowd guarded the coast against enemies from across the sea. About 300 years ago, one of the crowds was found. It was secretly told. No one knows what happened to it after that." "What about the other 2 crowds?" asked Henry. "The second crowd was washed into the sea. It was never found again." "What about the third crowd?" I asked Parston. "Was ever found?" "I will tell you about that," answered Parston. "There was a family here called Ager. The people believe that the Ager were the guardians of the third crowd. The last Ager died 8 years ago, in 1918. He has no children. I found his grave in the churchyard. I wrote down what was written on the gravestone. William Ager died 21st of December 1980, age 28 years. Later, I went to the bookshop in Fretton. By chance, I found an old book dated 1740. Inside there were some lines of poetry. "Lathanger is my name. I own the hill both ascend. All Ager dirty, duty is the same, to guard the crowd that guard the land. When I dead, in a grate, and all my burn was rotten, my son shall keep my name alive. A sword not by forgotten." I bought the book and walked back towards Seaburn. I found the house where William Ager had lived. The house is halfway between Preston and Seaburn. Above the house is a small hill. There was a circle of trees on top. I knew that was the place. "The place for what?" I asked. Henry and I were becoming tired and did this long story. "The place was crowd buried," says Parston. "And did you find this crowd?" I asked in a tired voice. Parston answered, surprised at the words. "I have it in my room," he said. "Come and see it." Then couldn't believe me. Harry and I did not believe him. We thought the person was not telling the truth. We stood up and followed him. Parston led us to his room. He opened the suitcase. Inside the suitcase was something wrapped into newspaper. He unwrapped the newspaper. There was a crown. The crown was made of silver. It was a circle of metal with 4 jewels. I put my hand to touch it. "Don't touch it," Parton cried, held the crowds away from us. "Why not?" I asked in surprise. "I'm going to take it from you." "I'm sorry," said Parton. "It's because—" His look around and threw me a strange way. Since I took the ground, since I've been alone. You have been alone, Harry said. What do you mean?" Parton told us more about his story. "After I'd been to Anglia house, I came back here. I got a ship and a lantern. When it struck, I went back to the hill above the house. I started to dig the hole at the top of the hill, in the center of the circle of trees. I was digging," Parton went on. I was sure someone was watching me. Once I thought I saw someone, but I wasn't sure. The person was all the way behind me. Once I felt someone pulling my coat, but at the moment I heard a terrible cry behind me. "Who carried it out?" I asked. "I couldn't see anyone," Parton answered. "But I think I know." He pointed to my book on the table beside the bed. "Every time I come back to my room, the old book is opened." I looked at the table. As the old book was open at the first page, I saw the name William Eager, 1890. "So you think that William Eager is following you?" I said. "But William Eager is dead." "It's the ghost of William Eager," said Parton. "He won't leave me alone. He went to the crowd, but he isn't strong enough to take it from me." "And what will you do with the crowd?" I asked. "I'm going to put it back," said Parton. "If you put it back, William Eager ghost have leave you alone?" I asked. "I don't know," says Parton. "But I must try." I saw the person was very, very frightened. "Then you shall help me to put it back tonight?" I said. As I spoke, I saw a move in the room. Parton saw and looked terrified. That night, as we left the hotel together, I spoke to the hotel porter. "It was a warm night," I said. "We're going for a walk, maybe back very late." "I will wait for you, sir," said the porter. "I will troll for the door until you return. The other gentleman is staying in the hotel is." "What other gentleman?" I asked. "The gentleman who with the person," said the porter. "No," I replied quickly. I did not tell the other what the porter he said, but I have seen it true. When the three of us together, I thought I saw another person in the room with us. It took us half an hour to walk William Eager house. The road was along beside the beach. The beach was a lonely place at night. We saw the hill above the beach. The sea was calm. The moon was shining behind the trees on the hill. We climbed on the top of the hill. We had forgotten to bring a stage. Parton did not care. He began to dig with his hand. As soon as he dug a hole, Parton put the crowd in it. He covered the crowd with earth. "It's back," he said in a loud voice. "I will leave me in peace now, William Eager." We heard nothing, but Parton turned to us and said, "William Eager says never." I took Parton back to the hotel. We walked until and looked down the ground. "Don't worry," I said. "Everything will be all right tomorrow. We put on a train to London. As soon as you're on the train, you'll forget all about this." "He never lets me go," Parton said. "He will never let me go. I'm just thinking about—" The next morning, Henry locked my door before 7 o'clock. "Let's go having breakfast," he said. "Let's take part in the railway station." I got dressed and went downstairs. Henry was waiting for me. "Have you seen Person?" I asked Harry. "He's not in his room," he said. "I thought he was with you." We went quickly to the porter. "Have you seen Mr. Person this morning?" I asked. "Yes, sir," said the porter. "He went out a couple of minutes ago. In fact, I thought he was with you, sir." "With me?" I asked in surprise. "Yes, sir," the porter said. "I thought you were outside of the hotel. Called for him." "It looked like you, sir. But you were reading the paper. Something strange happened." His friend first hesitated. "What happened?" I asked. "A grave was opened at church," the porter said. "The body disappeared." "Whose grave was opened?" I asked. "A man who used to live here," the porter replied. "A stranger called William Ager." Harry and I ran outside. Poston was in the beach. He was walking quickly and waving to someone. We could see who he was waving to. There was thick mist coming from the sea. As we ran up to Person, the mist became thicker. In a few seconds, we could not see Person. We saw his footprints in wet sand. This mark of the shoe was clear. There was other mark in the sand. It was made by someone who was wearing shoe. The marks were strange. The marks are strange of feet, but the feet without flesh. Only bone. We called Person's name. We thought we heard Person call our names. Then we heard a long and horrible scream. I shall never forget the sound of that scream in the mist. We stopped. We were afraid. We did not want to meet the creature that Person had met. Both knew Person was dead. We walked forward slowly. A few years ago, I found Person's body. His mouth was full of sand and stones. His neck was broken. We heard a train laugh in mist. It was the laugh of a living man. Harry and I was terribly afraid. The police asked us about a lot of questions. They never found out true murder, poor as much person. Harry and I just tell the police what we knew. Who's never believers. Harry and I did not go back to look for the crown of Anglia. The crown is safe. We did not want to meet the girls of the garden. William Ager.